And good evening, everyone. Okay, the camera's working. Hey Ridley, how's it going? You'll have to excuse the lack of eyeliner today, by the way. Yep. Erin, eyelinerless face reveal. I sort of fell asleep, so I didn't have time to finish doing my makeup, so I'm going to do that for D&D after. How's everyone doing today? You've been lifting, so you're energized, but also kind of gross. Do you even lift, brah? Also, I'm melting. Today the answer is yes. Excellent. Alrighty, how's audio? Hey Terrace, how's it going? Oh, audio's good. Good. Oh yep, check out my, well you can't really see it, but I think I've put photos on Twitter anyway. But I'm using my new mic stand, so I now have a pop guard. Anyway, without further ado, last episode we recovered a puppet for a ventriloquist and now he speaks for it. And it's as weird as it sounds. Just got up after the night shift, at your desk with some coffee. Nice. So to recap, this 31-year-old man is competing with a 20-something-year-old man for the heart of a 16-year-old girl. And we're supposed to just ignore that, I guess. Hey, Kiara. Tell us what you know about the murder. You talking to me? I said, you talking to me? Don't look at him when you're talking to me. Triloquist. You behave, young man. Shut up, Woody. What murder are you talking about? You mean the one where they off the old man? I guess so. Oh, hey, /dev. Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks for giving, Ridley a shout out, Kiara. Oh, and of course this means... Yes, Kiara. If you won't do it yourself, I'll have to do it for you. I guess so. No need to make such a fuss about things. That old mutt paid us all peanuts. Trillo, you can't say things like that. I didn't raise you to be that kind of puppet. Don't you have nerve pills or something to take right now? These two are really an odd couple, aren't they, Nick? Okay, I'll talk. Gramps got clobbered over the head. You're welcome, Kiara. Let me lay it all out for you. The pace sucks, the clown sucks, and my partner has his hand up my pants. Your partner? You mean Ben? Yeah? The creepy old guy never finds it in himself to leave me alone. Tell him to back off for me, will ya? He's just another one of the dorks around here. Oh my. But I'll be fair. In this cesspool of human garbage masquerading as performers, I found my Madonna. Your... Madonna? Regina, my lovely Regina. She's stunning. Right, Ben? Bye. Reminder, this man is 31. This girl is 16. Well, I'm not sure if I go that far. You'll have to excuse him. He does not understand the way he speaks. I, on the other hand, am an appreciator of true beauty, hence why I shall marry her. Marry? Yep, this puppet is beyond time. And yes, Kiara, Toy Story has taken a dark turn indeed. The ringmaster got knocked upside his cheap head by that flying fraud. You mean Max Galactica? Why'd you say that? Trillo, straighten up. Don't accuse people like that. Straighten up? I'm made of wood. Besides, you were there. You know what happened. You were there? Haha. If you're interested, I'll let you in on the facts. Kiara, you could say it's... No sunglasses around. Beyond time. Oh wait, back in time. Sorry, ruined it. Ridley, you're glad the anime made this case a lot less weird. That's good. What'd they do? Cut it? You're going to marry Regina? That's right. She doesn't quite realise the joy that awaits her, does she? I think I'm beginning to see why she seemed troubled. Well, I don't care. It's my choice, not hers. We're getting hitched. I know you think that, but... But what? I gave her a special gift. I gave her the wonderful gift of song. You gave her a song? Okay, Galactica wasn't going after Regina for a start. That's a very good start. Well, I am a renowned tenor. You'll be happy to know that I've decided to grace you with one of my songs. Me, 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 me. I want you to touch me. I want you... I'm not singing this. The rest is private. Well, the melody's pretty good. But those lyrics, I think they need a little work. Who asked you? I'm the artist here. Thanks. Now that Trillo's here. Does that mean you can talk normally now? Hey, buttface! You must be looking forward to tomorrow, aren't you, Mr. Ambulance Chaser? Ben and Trillo came up for like 5 seconds and you don't remember anything untoward. That's definitely good. And they also stated that Regina's 18 instead of 16. Also good. You know, it's time to get rid of that pesky magician once and for all. Trillo? Enough jibber jabber. Let's get to court already. Hey, wait a second. Nick, what's going on? That's a very good question, Mayor. That is a very good question. He is a witness for tomorrow's trial. Okay, anything else to see around here? The chair's been knocked over. That's what it looks like. It almost looks as if someone knocked it over in a struggle, or used it for self-defense. Or maybe Regent just likes to eat his dinner in the cafeteria. Yep, that's right. What's going on? Weird shit, Mayor. Weird shit. December the 28th. Very big circus. Big top. What in the world's happened with Ben and Trillo? Quite a pair, those two. What, that puppet's... Monkey! Oh no, now what? This is like Chandler's Law, but with a monkey. So sort of like a Genesis song about coming down from cocaine. Hey, welcome back, Nick. That monkey. My badge. That monkey stole it. What? Oh god, it's this kid. Mr. Attorney, that face was so cute. You look so completely dumbfounded. Regina? You, that monkey. Hey, no need to get angry, okay? But, my attorney's badge. Don't worry, I'll help you out. Okay, if you say so. If I don't get my badge back, how can I flash his? Yep, Phoenix versus Monkey Ridley. Phoenix will not win. By the way, the monkey's name is Money. Money the monkey. His name is... Money? The monkey is called Money? Yes. Well, the rich ape just stole my attorney's badge. Mind if I get that back? I'll see what I can do. Even I have money problems. Yep, don't we all? Yeah. Whenever Money sees something shiny, he takes it back home. My gosh. He's a landlord. That's pretty funny. Well, I guess I'll just have to find out where Money disappeared to. I think that's your best bet. You should probably ask Uncle Mo. He might know. Huh? You don't know? Well, Money isn't exactly someone on friendly terms with. What? He's not really the kind of animal I work with, even if he does need taming. Oh, I see. Go to Moe's. I guess it is time that I revisit that kooky clown. Do you mind telling us a bit about Ben? Ben? You mean the guy that's always hanging around with Trillo? What do you mean, hanging around? Well, he was there when Trillo told me that he was in love with me. Trillo told you he was in love with you? I mean, he didn't just tell us that, but I'm still shocked. Yes, he did. Kinda cute, don't you think? He's so smart, and he's such a wonderful singer. I love him. Yep, precisely. But what about Ben? What about Ben? He's got nothing to do with me loving Trillo. Like sand for an hourglass, so are the days of the circus. Regina, you were proposed to, weren't you? Proposed to? Nope, that wouldn't be for a while. Huh? Wait, huh? Really? That's strange, isn't it, Nick? Yeah. Max and Trillo both said otherwise. They said they asked for her hand in marriage. Ah, but Max only talked to the ringmaster about it. Oh, please, Ridley, you know Mayor's going to enable this. I forgot about that. He asked the ringmaster for her hand, not Regina directly. So I guess Trillo hasn't asked her directly yet. What? He's going to propose to me? I'm so confused. How about you, Mayor? Huh? What? Who do you think I should go for? Max or Trillo? Wait. You do realise that Trillo is a puppet? I don't care that he's a bit stiff. Oh boy. December the 28th, Lodging House, Plaza. Huh? Detective Gumshoe took off already. Yeah, probably because we ditched him earlier. I bet he and the other cops got lonely and headed back to the precinct. Ridley, Regina makes you want to lie on the floor and stare at the ceiling for a few moments. Same. This is why you don't let adult men write teenage girls. December the 28th, Lodging House, first floor, Moe's room. Oh my, if it isn't Mr. Bright all the time. It's right to be wrong right every now and then. Right? See, Nick, it just took a while for the joke to find its audience. So, what can I do for you? Did you remember a good joke you want to tell me? Pull up a chair, or maybe just pull my finger and let me have it. We're going to get the same sound effect either way, aren't we? How do you know I'd put a whoopee cushion on the chair? You really know what it takes to be a clown, don't you? Yep, the pre-emoji man. So about Regina. Regina is such a pure innocent child. She's such a cutie too. She was born and raised in the circus, you know. But that means she doesn't really know much about the world outside the big top. Sounds like Pearly. For her, every child's dream of the circus is her everyday reality. She lives in a dream world. She sees dancing with wild animals, men flying in the air, and one very funny clown every day. Really? Who is it? Funny thing is, it all seems normal to her, because it is her everyday life. I guess that explains why she thinks she can marry a ventriloquist puppet. Don't ask me if her reality is a good thing or a bad thing, though. A clown sees life simply, without complications. Have you ever heard of a monkey named Money? Yes, Money. He stole my attorney's badge. Well, Money does love shiny objects. It makes sense he'd swipe your badge. But under no circumstances can you chase after him. Why is that? Oh, I know. You don't want to get involved in any monkey business, right? Exactly. Bravo, bravo. Yep, totally quit, man. Enough joking around, though. Money isn't considered a member of Regina's family. Then who does he belong to? I'll be happy to take you to where his owner's staying. You mean right now? Of course. Shall we go? Should we go with him now or wait a while? December the 28th, lodging house, first floor, Acro's room. Oh, it's a Mars Volta song. Fair enough. This is it. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? I can't breathe. Don't be such a wimp. You only had to climb 2 flights of stairs. Anyways, this is the place. Acro's room. Acro. He's an acrobat. Seems like he's not around today. That's a big pile of junk over there in the corner. I don't think it'd be wrong to assume that Phoenix's stuff is over there too. Just be careful to make sure you got the right stuff. Thanks, Mo. See you later. Money the Monkey added to the court records. Money the Monkey. A monkey who takes care of Acro. Habitually gathers all sorts of shiny objects. Holy cow! There's a fork and a mirror. Everything's shiny. Was that Little Mermaid's reference? There's even a really cheap looking knockoff wristwatch. Look at this. It's a trophy and it's really heavy. Nick, I found it. Your badge. It's right here. Attorney's badge returned to its rightful spot on lapel. Thanks, you really saved me. Huh? What's the matter? Did you find something? Yeah, check this out. It's a ring. There's something engraved on it. From T to R. Ring put in pocket. A cheap ring with an eerie sparkle. From T to R is engraved on it. Well, I think it's about time we wrap up our investigation. Do you think we'll win in court tomorrow? I'll be honest, I think I want everyone in this case to go to jail for one reason or another. Who knows? Even I can't imagine what kind of testimony will come out tomorrow. I'm guessing Mo will be a witness in court tomorrow. Mo and maybe the puppets. Don't worry, Nick. No matter what, we've still got a magician on our side. That's good, because we might need some magic tomorrow. December the 29th, 9:43 AM. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. Good morning, Max. Max? Milk? What? If I don't have a glass of milk before I go on stage, I just can't function, sweetie. Stage? Don't worry, there will be a stage. All you have to do is sit down. I mean, everyone's shown standing up in the dock. I guess. I wonder where he's getting all these cards from. Nick, Max is really nervous. That's understandable. Hey, my sweeties. What? You don't think I should fly, do you? Huh? You know, you've got to make a good first impression. When I enter the room, maybe I should fly and warm the crowd up a little. No, no, no. We can't be having you flying around the courtroom. It just wouldn't be right. Man's made of decks. Makes sense. You know, all those cards must make him, for the artists, very hard to draw. No, that was terrible, sorry. Imagine if you hit someone. Don't worry, Max. Just do what Nick says and everything will be okay. Oh, sweetie. What is it? What is it this time, Max? Why don't you try flying into the courtroom? You know what? That's not the worst thing that anyone suggested so far, so... I can see us now. The dashing young lawyer flying fabulously in from above. One glimpse of that, and everyone in the room will be on your side. Max, really? No one needs to fly today. Nick, what's with that look in your eyes? I like the sound of that. Dashing young lawyer flying fabulously. Hey Froy, how's it going? December the 29th, 10 AM, District Court, courtroom number 2. Another case of one? What? Your Honour, get on with it. Oh, sorry. I just realised that the defendant's name is Billy Bob Johns. So, well, isn't the defendant also known as Maximilian Galactica? Oh, good, this is going good. Yes, Your Honour. He does often go by that name. You know, my grandchild's a huge fan of his. I think everyone here wouldn't mind if we called the defendant Maximilian Galactica. It sounds more friendly. I wonder if that's to our advantage. Miss Von Karma, your opening statement, if you please. I hope you didn't bother thinking you'll win this one, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Huh? That spirit channeling trial was a sham. I refuse to acknowledge its legitimacy. It did not count. Do you hear me? She must still be upset about what happened last time. You had no chance. Zero, zilch, nada. I'm not losing this case. Why, you ask? Because it's not in the nature of Von Karma to lose at anything. I guess being born with the name Von Karma is a free pass to be arrogant and annoying. Watch and learn, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'll show you the textbook procedure for proving how absolutely guilty you are. Me? Guilty? What's he talking about? It will be my ultimate revenge. It's not like you're bringing her dad back. There, opening statement complete. Now let's hurry and wrap up this waste of time. Very well. You may call your first witness, Miss Von Karma. Detective Dick Gumshoe, get up there. Now. Francisco Von Karma has strong dominant energy. I'm sorry to keep you from work, as I'm sure you need every penny you can earn, Detective. Wait, he doesn't get paid to be here? Don't mention it. It's no trouble at all. I've been looking forward to this. Very well. I would like you to begin by shedding light on the events in question. At your service, sir. All right, Detective. You may proceed with your testimony. Okay, so sorry about my voice today, everyone. I'm still not readjusted to my day job, being back at my day job, so I'm super sleepy. Details of events. The night of the crime. Snow was falling until 9:40 p.m, making it extremely cold out. All of the circus performers were gathering in the big top to practice their routines. The practice session broke up about 10 p.m. The murder itself took place in the plaza in front of a lodging house at 10:15 p.m. The victim was found bent over a wooden box, dead as a doornail. The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck. I see. He was beaten to death. Here's the autopsy report for the victim. The court accepts this into evidence. Okay, I'm going to assume that's a typo. Autopsy report added to the court record. Russell's autopsy report. Time of death 10:15. Cause blunt force trauma to the back of the head. A blunt object. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honour. let me ask you about the snow. It was nearly a blizzard up until the time of the crime. Did it pile up? It wasn't such a big deal. Maybe about 1.5 inches on the ground. The snow froze in place and stayed on the ground until the next day. The snow. Let me see. There's got to be more to this. Huh? What's the matter, Nick? I need to take a look at the court records. Mr. Gumshoe? What are the members of the circus doing on the night of the crime? Okay, so I guess the first statement's the one I need to find the evidence for.
Hold it!
When you say all the circus performers, who do you mean? Everyone but the dancers and the staff were there. Regina the animal tamer, Mo the clown, Ben the ventriloquist, and of course the defendant, Maximilian Galactica, and his victim, the ringmaster. Oh, I almost forgot. Regent the tiger was there as well. And out of curiosity, what about the circus monkey? When I was investigating yesterday, he happened to snatch my wristwatch. Detective, you're welcome to file a police report after these proceedings.
Hold it!
After the practice was over, where did everyone head off to? Regina was playing with Regent, while Mo went back to his room tired from work. Then the ventriloquist went to the front gate, absorbed in his own world. The ringmaster and Max went off to the ringmaster's room to talk privately. Talk privately? Huh? That's awfully suspicious. You would happen to know what they were talking about, would you? Hey, Key. Plasterface is sus. Oh, don't call Gumshoe Plasterface. I mean, he is a cop. Yeah, you know, that's fair. It seems they were negotiating Max's salary. Actually, Max was asking for Regina's hand in marriage. Oh, thanks for giving Nikki a shout out, Kiara.
Hold it!
I'd like you to be a bit more specific about the events of 10:15 p.m. Okay, not a problem, pal. We got witness that told us how the whole thing went down. Ow! This is totally meaningless. Time to move on. Yes, I bet his shoes probably have gum on them. He's probably always stepping in it. Alright, we'll just have to revisit that testimony later. Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling us how the victim met his end?
Hold it!
A wooden box? That's right. The victim must have been carrying the wooden box when he was killed. Carrying the box, huh? It was a rather strange wooden box, Your Honor. What do you mean? Well, it was much heavier than it looked. Not to mention it was locked. Locked, you say? Wooden box added to the court record. The victim was hunched over this £20 box. It boasts a small but strong lock. Okay, what's £20 in kilograms? Like 35 kilograms? This may bring me my only chance, so I might as well ask some questions. This wooden box, you figure it weighs about £20, right? Sounds about right. The whole thing is lined with iron. Iron plating? Why do you think it's lined with iron? I think we could all do without your guesses, Detective. Stick to what little you actually know. Sorry. Suffice it to say, the box is really heavy. Much better. You may continue on, Detective.
Hold it!
According to the autopsy reports, the murder weapon was a blunt object, correct? You've done your homework, pal. And you haven't found this murder weapon, have you? Pardon me? The police are searching for it as we speak. My theory is it's something the perpetrator ran off with. You'd think so, especially since you didn't find it on the scene. No. I bet he made it disappear with his magic. There wasn't much that we could go after Gumshoe with this time. He gave us the facts, he saw them, but there's got to be more to this. The only weapon here is the one on the witness stand. You know, they never actually explain how the prosecutors are allowed weapons in court. I didn't see anything. But that's why you're the lawyer and I'm the medium. Okay, so this is where it was implied there's a contradiction, so...
Hold it!
Okay, so... something about the snow.
Objection!
This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. Exactly the statement and the evidence just now related. They aren't, are they? Not at all. Mr. Bright, please think the facts over before making accusations. The only weapon here is the one on the witness stand. Technically also the whip. Icky. I don't think that won me any points with the judge. Can't see anything here that contradicts snow. Any thoughts? There's no contradiction. Okay. Okay, maybe if I show them photo then.
Objection!
Okay, guess not.
Hold it!
If the text is highlighted red, does that mean anything? No, it's just a word they want to stand out a bit. Okay.
Objection!
So, if the snow was falling until 9:40, all the snow had settled before the murder.
Hold it! Objection!
Maybe I could check the map. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here.
Objection!
Oh, you thought it said the times. Fair enough. You thought I was starting at 1. Oh. Sorry about that.
Objection!
I'm thinking the contradiction I'm looking for is the fact that the snow had all settled before the practice session finished. Okay, so long story short, a 16-year-old girl is in love with a ventriloquist dummy and the magician. The ventriloquist is 31 and the magician is like in his 20s, so it's all very creepy and I hate it. Icky also made the assumption of 6 PM, despite having seen the tweet. Yes, sorry about that. Obviously I do slightly different times on Fridays because of D&D later in the day. Well, it's that time again. Yes, I said the kid is into the dummy. Who, I must reiterate, is controlled by a 31-year-old man. Okay, since this is taking up a lot of time, I'm going to look up spoilers. Ah yes, and there's a monkey who likes shiny things. Don't we all? A friend got you to start No Man's Sky, so you're off at that same time. On that at the same time. Nice. Oh, okay. Turns out there's something I need to get added here. Do you mind telling us what was inside the box? Well, when we found the box, it was a lot tighter than Fort Knox, so we took it back to the station and cracked it open. All that was inside was this little bottle. Bottle? What is that, detective? Exactly what it looks like, Your Honor. It's a condiment bottle. What's inside the bottle? It's filled with pepper. Pepper? Why in the world was it locked in that big box? There was only one little bottle in that huge box. I wonder if that has some sort of special meaning. Small seasoning bottle added to the court record. Found inside the wooden box, the victim was hunched over. It contains pepper. Well, I think we have a good feel for the details of the event now. I guess that's all we're going to get out of Gumshoe in this case. You mean all we're going to get out of him is that little bottle of pepper? Now that we have wrapped up with the detective, I'd like to call my next witness. I'm not even off the stand yet. Obviously. That's due to you being slow and unable to take a hint. I know, but wrapped up has such a mean sound to it. I'm a sensitive guy. Thank you very much, Miss Detective Gumshoe. You may step down. Miss Von Karma, call your next witness. I would like to call Mr. Benjamin Woodman to the stand. She must be talking about Ben the ventriloquist. I wonder if Trillo will show up on the stand as well. Please state your name and occupation for the records. My full name is Trilloquist. I'm employed as an operatic tenor. Excuse me? The witness called to the stand was what Mr. Ventriloquist Woodman. Ventriloquist. That road must be cutting off your circulation. I said that I was a singer. Maybe you don't believe me? Fine. I'll grace you with a song. Me, 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 me. The world of the law, exciting and daring, guilt or innocence. Decided by a judge dressed up like a woman. Well, what do you think? It had a good rhythm. It's just the lyrics. They leave something to be desired, so to speak. Trillo, you know better than to insult a judge. Shut up. Just look at your nose. You'd think you'd have the sense to fix it. It's so ugly I want to punch you in the face on the off chance swelling would help. You know, the reason that your nose is the reason you'll never be an A-list star. Celebrities must really enjoy saying everything that flashes into their minds. You didn't realise that's why he was called Trillo, Icky. Yep. Ben Trilloquest. What's going on here? Order? Order? I demand to know who the witness is. Don't worry about me, sir. I'll let Trillo handle this. I'm not worried about you one bit. I'm worried about getting testimony in my court. Ouch. You won't get anywhere trying to figure out this witness. Now let's proceed. What you witnessed? Once practice was over, I left the tent with the stooge, the clown. Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went to the plaza's entrance. That's when I saw Max, heading towards the scene of the crime. He was the only one heading that way. How could that pug not be the killer? Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away. Oh, Magic Boy, what is the secret of your power? You saw Maximilian Galacta heading towards the scene. You sure of that? Without a doubt. He had a silk hat, cloak, and the dumb white roses on his chest. How can you make someone with that crazy get-up on his nose and his nose stuck up so high? That's enough. I think we all get the picture. Just one thing. You said you ditched the clown. That's right, dress boy. Well, since you went with him, couldn't that mean the clown committed the crime? He's got a point. What a shame. It was a nice theory, but the clown can't be the culprit. Why is that? Here's absolute proof. Silk hat? Head Dwarf and Crafts? Is this the game where the attorneys are asexual? Yes. And I wish the bloody defendants were as well. Icky, raise your hand if you've been personally victimised by Francesca von Karma. Or if you wished you were. This was found at the scene of the crime. It belongs to the defendant. Without question, he was wearing his signature hat during practice. If the clown was the murderer, there would be no reason for this hat to be at the scene. Well done, Miss Von Karma. Your prosecutorial skills are unrivaled. Well done. Also, how's your evening going, Dwarven Crafts? Thank you for stating the obvious. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what do you have to say? Okay. I guess she's the boss again today. Phoenix, Phoenix, Phoenix. She's always the boss.
Hold it!
The clown? You're talking about Mo? Of course I'm talking about that old farce. He's so pathetic, I can't stand him. Just a little bit of exercise and his makeup is running all over the place. But once practice was over, he was 9/10 of the way to keeling over for good. Poor guy. We didn't have any choice, so Ben took him back to his room. When it comes to being a first-place loser, that guy's ahead of the pack. And then what happened?
Hold it!
Why the plaza's entrance? To do some thinking, of course. Yeah, it was awfully cold out that night, especially with all the snow around. Wouldn't thinking in your nice warm lodging house have been a better idea?
Objection!
Pardon me? Mr. Phoenix right. I think you should leave the thinking to the witnesses. I'm a good funker. At least my teachers already said I was.
Hold it!
Are you sure it was really Max Galactica? Of course I'm sure. How can you mistake someone wearing such a snobby three-piece getup? Snobby three-piece getup. Get the wax out of your ears. Lawyers nowadays, you like talking to a brick wall. Max's three-piece getup. Jeez, can you be any more dense? All together now. Silk hat, cloak, white roses. Icky, you don't think Phoenix or the witnesses are capable of thinking right now? Yeah, it's one of those cases, I think. Thank you. Nick, I think you should put a little more effort into preparing your questions.
Hold it!
You saw Max and only Max, right, Rillo? That's right. And that makes him the killer. There was only one person headed that way that night. That makes quite a bit of sense and makes Max one suspicious character. There's more to this story than meets the eye. Is there something amiss in this? That's a bit strange, don't you think? What's strange? That you only saw Max? Doesn't it seem like you should have seen someone else as well? What? Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Who else do you suppose this witness could have seen?
Take that!
That's the victim. That's correct. If Trillo was at the entrance of the plaza, he should have seen the ringmaster as well. Ah! Obviously, the ringmaster arrived at the scene of the crime before the witness. Could have seen him. Anyone with sense could have figured that one out. What are you talking about? The ringmaster and Max were together in the ringmaster's room. Is that, according to the defendant, a likely story? If Maximilian and Galactica was supposed to be in the ringmaster's room, why was he, just as the witness stated, at the scene of the crime? I see. It seems at this stage I have no reason to doubt this witness's testimony. And there are clearly no conclusive contradictions. He's right. A brilliant judgment, Your Honour. Now let's move along with the testimony. Trillo wouldn't have an ulterior motive for incriminating Max, would he? Well, Max is part of a bitter love triangle with Regina, which is probably why Max conked him over the head. Nick, wasn't Ben the one you got knocked over the head? Yeah, I think so. I don't know anymore.
Hold it!
Oh, back to the start. Okay, let's see what else there is here.
Hold it! Hold it!
Around what time did the police arrive at the scene? I suppose that'd be around... Hey, what time was it? Huh? Oh, I think it was around, I'd say a bit after 10:30 p.m, I think. Practice ended about at 10 p.m, so you hung around the lodging house the entire time. I guess that sounds about right. Wasn't it awfully cold? I can't believe you just stand outside in that weather. Well, the truth is... Will you shut up, you big-nosed dope? Why are you trying telling him anything extra? Why can't you believe we just stand out in the weather? Well, maybe you're waiting for someone. What? What? Who said we were waiting for someone?
Objection!
Mr. Phoenix, right? We can all do without your off-handed theories.
Objection!
But this witness, he's cracking under the pressure already. I'm onto something. Mr. Wright? Who do you suppose the witness was waiting for out in the cold that night? We know the answer to this.
Take that!
Well, if he was waiting outside in the cold, it was for one person. And one person only. He was waiting for the animal tamer, Regina. You're waiting outside for Regina to come back to the lodging house. Am I mistaken? Is this true? Well, I am... you can't really ask me that question. I need to plead the fifth. Who cares what I was waiting for that night? What's important is what I saw, don't you forget it. Well, the puppet may be a bit stiff, but he's right. Alright. There's obviously a reason why this witness was there that night. He spent all that time waiting for Regina to arrive. Moreover, even if someone else would have walked right in front of him, I doubt he would have paid them a second thought. That makes perfect sense. What did you just say? The witness saw the defendant at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
However, he did not see the victim on his way to his eventual demise. If you accept that, then you must accept there's a high likelihood that he could have missed someone headed there. Ow! There is absolutely no proof that the witness was waiting for the animal tamer. I guess he got me. Alright, I'll spill the beans for real this time. It's true, I was waiting for Regina. Pain. Don't volunteer things. Mr. Quiz, tell us the truth this time, and I mean the whole truth. And nothing but the truth. Were you or were you not waiting for Regina at the entrance to the lodging house? I was. I was waiting to propose to her. somewhere I have an entire bottle of a Twitch-unfriendly beverage that I want to quaff right now. You are what? Waiting to propose? What's the matter? You think the humans have a monopoly on marriage? The matter of perfect marriage is not under review in this case. You're the judge. I mean, look at your horrible outfit. More pain. Thanks to your bumbling, my perfect plan is not so perfect anymore. Now we have to waste time getting to the bottom of some silly proposal by a puppet. I feel for you, Von Karma, I feel for you. Don't be so surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. You're asking a lot of us there. I even had something to give her. I kept it in my pocket waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket last night. It was a present for her. In the end, I was unable to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. Do puppets even have pockets? You were going to propose? You? A puppet? Don't be so obtuse. Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean I can't love. Yes, you're right. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I can propose to her too. Sorry, I threw up in my mouth a little there. Nolus, he's a male puppet. Of course he has pockets. Fair point. Exactly. His honour is looking a little less honourable right now. Thank you, Phoenix. Okay, Mr. Wright. Please continue with your cross-examination. What's with that sigh at the end? I don't like anyone in this game anymore. We should bloody well lock up all the witnesses and the judge. And the defendant. By proposal, you mean proposing marriage, correct? Regina? Of course that's what I meant. What kind of stupid question is that? It's an examination and you're extremely cross, Icky. I wasn't gonna propose that we become some sort of outlaw biker gang together. I think I prefer that case. Right then? Yeah. R.I.P. my chopper. Got it? That's the truth.
Hold it!
What was it you planned on giving her? You know exactly what I was going to give her, numbskull. The only thing I could find to match Regina's beauty. Answer his question. What was it? You're gonna die when you hear this. It's an engagement ring. Engagement ring? Wow, those two nearly fell out of their chairs. Mr. Phoenix Wright's joke has gone too far. Time for this to end right here. Franziska's whip looks like it's about to lash out at almost anything. One hit from that thing would probably shut someone up for a long time. Push on, Phoenix, push on. We believe in you. It may be something of a joke, but this is a historical moment. The first time that a puppet has ever proposed to a human being. You'd say that the guy should be strung up, but he's not that kind of puppet. I advise you to cut this argument short.
I'm going to have to agree with the defense here. Will the witness please revise their testimony, specifically about the engagement ring? I'd like to stick to the facts, not sociology. You sure do enjoy sweating the details, especially for a man in a black bathrobe.
Pain equals bad. Yep.
Hold it!
An engagement ring? Uh-huh. It's actually a diamond-shaped stone cut from glass. Even more brilliant than the real thing. I think Regina's gonna love it. It's just a ring.
What's the matter, Nick?
Well, there's got to be something I can catch him on.
Hold it!
Whose pocket was the ring in? Mine, of course. What a stupid question. You gotta be kidding me. You think Ben could pull that one off?
I'm sorry. Really?
You don't have to apologise for that. He's the one who should be apologising.
Yeah, judges' robes do actually look quite comfy. I'd imagine the wigs... Well, I suppose American judges don't wear wigs.
Really?
Hold it!
So you went to the lodging house to give it to her? That's right. I tried to give it to her during practice so many times I lost count, but that uppity snob kept getting in the way.
Uppity snob? You couldn't possibly be talking about me? Maximilian Galactica? When I get a hold of him, I'm going to saw his woodblock in half, and not with magic.
Well, they always say that love creates rivalries. So, what about this present?
Have you in these?
So, you're still thinking of trying to give it to Regina? Of course I am. I spent 3 months' salary on this thing. I'm not going to give it up that easy.
I wonder how much he received for appearing in the circus.
Probably way more than he deserves.
How about it, Nick?
I think it's about time to unwrap this toy's testimony.
That's the spirit, Nick. Give him heck. Yep.
The judge has that dazed and confused look again. Maybe you should get out more.
Quite frankly, I think the judge is all of us right now.
Objection!
Trillo, do you mind if I show you something? What is it?
What is it?
What are you talking about? Uh-oh, it looks like they're gonna double team me now.
That's a neat dialogue trick. Long story short, the ventriloquist was going to propose to the teenage girl through his puppet. And they claim to have seen the murder take place, but we need to prove they didn't. It's all very simple.
Do you recognize this ring? That's mine. Give it back. Thief! Thief! Didn't you just testify about this very object? I believe you said. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I still got it in my pocket. Why then do I have it right here? What's going on here? That's... Ben, say something.
Huh? Don't put me on the spot like that, Trillo.
I found this in Money's room. Money's room? You mean like a room they put money in? Like a bank vault? Huh. That filthy monkey's gonna get what's coming to him. Mr. Quist? I would prefer if you avoided slandering innocent fiats in my court.
Oh, great. The judge is an anarcho-capitalist, isn't he?
Well, Your Honor, Money is really a monkey in every sense of the word. I see. Well then. Money likes to go after the shiniest things that he can find and gather them up. Shiny things?
Yep, capitalist.
Trillo, when was this ring stolen from you? Well, I suppose it was that time, you know, that night, the night of the crime.
What did you just say?
Details, I need more details. Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza. Right about when you saw the defendant... Wait, right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct?
Icky. I call Money to the stand. I don't have any questions, I just want to see what happens. Wouldn't that be great?
Well, I guess you might be able to say that. The ring might have been, well, it could have been taken around that time.
And he left the part where he was attacked by a monkey out of his testimony.
Ben, what's with you? Oh, whatever. He has nothing to do with anything, especially not those who committed the murder. It's not for you to decide what has to do with what. Now, Trillo, back to the topic at hand. I haven't admitted a thing. Not I, Mr. Ventriloquist. What did you do when the ring was taken, Trillo? You know exactly what I did. I chased after that ring, snatching monkey money. But you weren't able to catch up with him, were you? It's all this slow, loafy fool called Ben's fault. While he was fumbling his way through the snow, that dumb monkey was able to get away. That's indeed an incredible shame. Well, this does indeed prove one very important point.
Prove an important point? What point could that possibly be?
There's a huge contradiction in this witness's testimony.
Contradiction?
The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after Money the Monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza.
What's the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Where are you going with this little theory of yours?
I'm saying that there's no possible way that this witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads me to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene.
Oh, thanks for the positive and hydrate, Icky. Well then, tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist?
Objection!
Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive on the scene.
However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive.
The witness is lying. He is blinded by his rivalry with Max. Well, the defense's argument does hold water. witness does has a history of animosity to the defendant. What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get that dog face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him, no doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar. Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly what you saw on that night. Huh. I told you so many times, you'd think you'd know my story's not changing. You've already changed your story, stick boy, and I'm sure it'll change some more.
Where there is one lie, there are usually many more behind it.
Exactly, Mayor. That's why we have to keep after him.
Yeah. Okay, this should be. Hopefully, this is the last testimony. So I'll get through this and finish up.
I'll give you that. I was wasting that night for Regina. But that doesn't change the fact I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I'd been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactor at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols.
So that means that money didn't show up until after you saw Max.
That's right. Money ran out less than a minute after I saw Max.
Then money
snatched the ring and you were chasing after him. How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see. I'd say about...
I suppose 5 minutes, I think. So the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch.
Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Okay, let's do this.
Hold it!
So you're only concerned with waiting for Regina that night? That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up. You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I got 4, you know. 4. F-O-U-R. Counting Ben, of course. With that many eyes, how do you really think someone would slip by me? 4 eyes is an awful lot of attention directed in one area, I suppose. Yikes. The judge is even more dangerous to our case than Trilo. But that...
Okay.
Hold it!
So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night? Of course, that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time. I guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina.
Hold it!
About what time would you say these events took place? You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out yourself. You already know that practice finished promptly at 10 PM. And you already know I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know what time it was when I saw him. A rocket scientist might help though. Just add 10 more minutes, I'm sure you can do that. Now what time was it? Indeed, what time was it? What time was it? Let me think about that for a second. Yeah, no good for me.
It was 10:10 PM.
Ah yes, that sounds about right. Sounds about right, because that's the time I saw Max on the scene.
Hold it!
So you testified you said good evening to Max that night? You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning, good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben? You got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trillo. You say good night, evening at night. I'm sorry, Trillo. Mr. Quist, I prefer if you kept your ventriloquist sacked outside of the courtroom. Impossible. Performer lives and breathes his performances. You should know better. There's got to be something wrong with this bit of testimony. Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why'd you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as something strange. Why'd it strike you as strange?
Exactly. How's it strange to be cordial to one of your co-workers?
Well, if it was simply being cordial to a co-worker, I'd understand. Ow, that hurts.
Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school. Oh, hey, Nick. Don't worry, by the way, I'm just wrapping up this testimony and then I'm going to be ready for D&D later. Thanks for giving him a shout-out, Froy. Obviously, give his cursedness a follow if you want to catch D&D in about 50 minutes' time. We all on? No power problems this time?
There's no reason that Trilo would say anything nice to Max.
Excellent.
But how do I go proving that with the evidence?
Bluffing is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learned that one.
I guess I can give it a shot. The witness will resume his testimony.
Hold it!
You're 100% sure of what you just said? I told you already, jeez. I'm absolutely 100% sure.
There's no way you could be any more confident than that, right?
Hold it!
Those three ridiculous symbols, huh? As for curiosity, exactly how many times you asked that question by now? If you're going to ask again, I'll answer with a chorus. Everyone together now? Silk hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you very much. Mayor, you didn't have to join in, did you?
But it's fun chatting with everyone else. There has to be a hole in his testimony somewhere.
I agree, but do we have the proof to make something stick?
All we can do is try, right, Nick? We gotta have something that'll prove useful.
Alright, time to go to work.
Okay. Yep, mutiny. Okay, I guess I need something. Maybe I need something to prove that he really wouldn't have said anything nice to him. This feels like a stretch, but oh, yeah, that's it.
Trilo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder?
A fight?
A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't that big of a deal, it was just an argument, a disagreement at most.
A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clonked over the head.
That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? Ouch!
Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first.
The truth is that on the day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There is absolutely no way that they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on the stand. There is no way a puppet this lewd would say good evening to his rival. Ugh.
Are you saying this witness is lying? He is trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the crime scene?
I didn't tell a single lie. Honestly, I just...
Yep, with an orange juice bottle.
That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night?
Must have seen someone else.
It is my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to.
What kind of theory is that?
The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all.
Guess it would have to be the ringmaster because he was the only one we know would have been there. Icky. No, I'm saying this witness exploded.
What? If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greasing at all. Which means there's only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. That's why Trilo made the effort to greet whoever it was that he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it.
What in the world? You...
Would the defense kindly explain who it was Trilo saw that evening, then?
Could have been the clown, I guess. I'll go with the ringmaster.
Considering the ill temper of the witness, there is only one person who agreed.
Wait, might have been that. The tamer, actually.
It must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute. No, Your Honor. It is not Regina. If it was Regina, Trilo would have given her the engagement ring as a present.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I suppose you've got a point there.
It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, was it not?
You're correct. It was indeed Russell Berry.
The person you saw...
The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trilo. Isn't that correct?
Yep. The judge belongs in jail, alright. You know what sort.
Answer the question, Mr. Quist. Ah! Order? Order? How do you respond to this? Wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man. But once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica. I think it's high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica? Or was it the ringmaster, one Mr. Russell Berry?
The prosecution argues it was the defendant that the witness saw that night. The witness has clearly stated that he saw the defendant's 3 symbols.
3 symbols? Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man. You gotta remember him by now. Here we go again, everyone. All together now. Ow!
Yes, yes, we know. The silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses.
Silk hat and cloak, anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me.
If you say so, Phoenix.
What was that? Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, do we really know it was Maximilian Galactica? It could have been someone else dressed as him.
A cosplay murder.
Possibly even Russell Berry.
What?
Miss Von Karma? Do you have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant?
Well,
If that's the case, then it's impossible for me to make a judgment at this point. Yes, I finally want a point in this one.
That is very unfortunate.
Huh?
You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix, right?
What do you mean by that?
You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort, but
But?
who that person was can only be answered by the next witness.
Huh?
Your Honour, the prosecution will provide, beyond a shadow of a doubt, an answer to that question and evidence that clearly establishes one thing. That there is no one other than Maximilian Galactico responsible for this crime.
Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness.
Alrighty. Okay, just going to open Firefox. And while that's loading, we'll just finish up here.
Court is now in recess.
To be continued. Okay, perfect timing. D&D game goes live in about 35 minutes, so I'll just save. And just find someone to raid. I'll finish putting on my makeup for my character, and hopefully I'll see you there. Yep, this game is something indeed, Froy. Yep, hype Nick. You're welcome, Kiara. Thank you for dropping by. Let's see, anyone got any suggestions on who to raid? You're welcome, Froy, Icky. And I'm glad you enjoyed it, Slash. Icky, if Grounded dies, we riot. Yeah, I don't think I really have anyone to raid, so... Oh, Kiara would suggest Mix Emily. Okay, we'll give them a raid then. 2 players aren't available today, so it might happen. Yay. Okay, we'll be raiding Mix Emily. So, yep, thanks for dropping by. I believe today's going to be a shopping episode for what that's worth. In any case, possibly see you in about half an hour. There'll be more Time Splitters 2 on Monday. So, hope to see you again for that. And I'm going to give my voice a rest, so have a lovely evening, and more raids in 3, 2, 1, and go.